Hello. My name's Nathan. Nice to meet you. I have been asked to do a video to talk to you about my paganism and what I do in regards to my paganism in this time of year with Halloween or Samhain or All Hallows Eve or whatever you want to call it. Samhain, if you want to call it Samhain, who cares if you call it Samhain, honestly. Yeah, I don't know why I've been asked to do this video. I've never been asked to do a video like this before in my life, but here we are, so we'll try and get through it together. So, a little bit about me. I'm 30 years old, and I've been a pagan since I was 8. So that's 22 years of being a practicing pagan now. I don't follow any particular path. I've sort of developed my own path along the way. If you forced me to describe myself as a pagan, I'd describe myself as a monist. Not many monist pagans out there, or I haven't met many, but we do exist. You can look monism up yourself. But yeah, I sort of do my own thing in regards to paganism. I've been asked to do this video to talk about this time of year, which is funny really, because it's probably the only time of year that I actually do anything for paganism. I'm not one of those pagans that beats themselves up about being pagan enough, because I have my own belief system and it is what it is. And the first thing I'd say in this video is, if you're a pagan, don't beat yourself up for not being pagan enough. If you're a Christian, or if you're a Hindu or a Muslim, you wouldn't be beating yourself up for not being Christian enough, not going to church and all this sort of stuff. So don't do it in paganism. You see it in a lot of groups online and meet a lot of pagans, and they're all like, oh, what do you do for your paganism? Well, I don't really do much. I go to work and I just believe what I believe. So that's my first tip. But this time of year, I do actually do a bit, to be fair. So a bit more background. So I'm a nurse by trade, and I work with a lot of people that are very ill. So I work in acute care, and I've worked with a lot of people that have died over the years. So this time of year, I tend to reflect on my work as a nurse and all the people that I've met over the years that I've lost. So this year I get a bit active. So what do I do then? So the first thing that I should talk about, that I was asked to talk about, that I do, I'm married. So let's start there. I'm married, and my husband is also pagan. And together we go to the local Polish war graves, which you're probably thinking, what? So my husband has Polish ancestry. And every year at the Polish war graves, a service is held for the people that lost their lives in World War II. All the Polish people, because there was a Polish airbase near us and stuff like that. So one of the first things we do is we go there and we attend the service. And it's a Christian service, but it's a very moving service. So we go to that. So the first thing I do as a pagan with my husband is go to a Christian service. So if you're looking for tips on how to be a good pagan, go to a Christian service. We just do. It's a very nice service, and we go during the day, and the service is half held in Polish, half held in English. And then we go to the town hall and we meet the mayor and meet a lot of Polish people come from up and down the country to the service, and you chat to them and all this sort of stuff. And it's about remembrance. It's about remembering those that have gone before you. So we go to that service, and then in the evening, the graveyard is actually left open and it's lit with candlelight, and it's really beautiful. And it's very nice to just go there and reflect and think about the people that you've lost. Because obviously the graveyard is local, so you're bound to, if you live locally, you're bound to have family in that graveyard, as well as all of the lost war veterans. So you can go there at night and reflect, and the whole graveyard's lit with candlelight. It's lovely. So that's one of the first things we do. The next thing that we do at this time of year, that's our tradition, if you will. Well, first of all, we celebrate Halloween as just a fun day. So don't forget to have some fun in your celebrations. We decorate our house with loads of taps and invite people. We put things in the window, so it invites people to come and knock on our door and trick or treat. And we give people loads of sweets and cause lots of cavities. So that's another thing that we do. But then, after Halloween's passed and we've had a bit of fun with that, on the 2nd of November, it's actually All Souls Day. So that's a Catholic celebration. And I'm not a Christian. I wasn't raised Christian, and my husband's not a Christian, and he wasn't raised Christian either. But we quite like the symbology of All Souls Day being a celebration of all the souls in the world and all this sort of stuff. So we adopted that day to hold a dumb supper. And that was the main thing I was asked to talk about in this video. So I don't know if anyone's ever heard of a dumb supper or not, but it's called a dumb supper, as in dumb as in silent, like a dumb waiter, shush. So our dumb supper is an evening meal that's held in complete and utter silence. And the idea behind it is that you reflect and go into introspection and remember all of those people that have come before you. So think of the 2-minute silence that we do for the World Wars. It's a bit like that, but it's extended throughout an entire evening. So if you were to come to our dumb supper, we hold it for the local pagans. So I'm part of a local group called Hearth and Home, the Newark pagan community. And we hold it for members of that community who come. We invite them around to our house to join us. And if you were to come, you would knock on our door. And as soon as you step over the threshold, it's complete silence. You're not allowed to say anything. The entire house is lit up in candlelight. And that's all it's all symbolic for fire and how fire is the closest element to the other realms according to Hermetics and people like Agrippa and stuff like that. It also looks pretty. So it's all in candlelight, and the house is decorated to look like autumn. So the floor is covered. We go out and collect leaves, and we literally carpet our floor in leaves. Luckily, we've got hard floors, so it's an easy clean up. Don't do it if you've got carpets. And you are sat in the sitting room, and there's pens and papers, and you can write little things and memories on there, and people tend to write them and little prayers and things like that. And then they burn them. We have a cauldron sat in the centre of the coffee table. It's a cauldron because it's fun, no other reason. And it's Halloween, so it's Halloween decoration. So you burn your thing in your cauldron and your memories, and then a bell is rung, and you are invited then to go through to a dining room. So we live in a Victorian house, so we're quite lucky that we've got a separate dining room. You go through to the dining room again. The whole house is lit up in candles, everything. You're not allowed to switch lights on to go upstairs to the bathroom. It's a path of candles lights the way to the bathroom. The bathroom's all lit up as well. So you're invited to the dining room. You go into the dining room with the bell, and then everyone's invited to invite whatever friend, family, pet, whatever, that they've lost, some sort of ancestor, to join us at the table. And there's always a space that we leave on the table for the dead. And people bring items, photographs, jewellery, and they place them there at the seat of the dead. And a bell rings, and you all sit down and you have your meal. And throughout the meal, it can get quite emotional because none of you are talking to each other, and you're very concentrated on the silence, and you're very concentrated on the seat for the dead, how it's empty, but you've got all your photographs and things, and people, you remember things that you'd forgotten about, and it's just very nice. And tears are shed, and that's fine. You can shed your tears because that's what it's about, really. Then after the meal, another bell's rang and all this sort of stuff, and then you leave, and that's sort of the end of the evening. And yeah, and that's what we do. This time of year, all of our traditions, going to the Polish war graves, that meal, etc. It's all about memory and memory of those that have gone before you, and that's all we do. That's all I do. My husband and I, that's all we do together. And we're going to do it again this year. Unfortunately, this year our local pagan community has lost someone. She was a good friend of all of ours, so this year it might be concentrated on her. But yeah, And that's all I've got to say, really. So don't feel pressured to do anything with paganism. Find your own path. And if there's anything that you should be doing this year, I would say just remember those that have gone before you. And that's it. All right. Thank you very much. Good luck. Bye.